Hi friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm introducing you to a new project that I've been kind of working on secretly. As you know, a few years ago, I decided to take on a read around the world challenge. And first, I kind of like designed my own journal, and if you want to see how this entire journal came to be, I will definitely link that video down below so you can create your own journal if you want. I kind of combine my read around the USA challenge together with my read around the world challenge. When I first started it, I didn't really think much about the books that I was picking for the different countries. I originally made this challenge so that I would read books set in the countries, and there were some picks that are a little bit questionable, like for example, if I look into my Africa picks, for Botswana I picked Spare by Prince Harry, which is a little bit questionable. But anyways, I was kind of rethinking this challenge, and I kind of want to restart it. I wanted to do it based on where the author is set from, but also the book set in that country. This way it can kind of expand my reads a little bit more than what I'm doing. And so as I was kind of rethinking the challenge, I love how this journal was set up originally, and it perfectly worked for me and my needs. But it was a lot of work trying to, create and write down all of the countries and set it all up again. And so that's why I decided to do it digitally, use one of the journal creating sites where I upload my own manuscript and then they print it, and I don't have to deal with inventory or anything like that. And I figured if other people like this journal and you don't want to create your own and go through all the hustle of writing down all the countries and all of that kind of stuff, you can still order something like this for yourself if you are doing this challenge too. And so this is why, and this is how this journal came to be. I created one for Read Around the World, and then when I first started, I thought maybe it would make sense to just separate them by different continents. So I do have those as well. So if you're only picking one continent at a time, you can select that. And then lastly is my Read Around the USA challenge. And so I just designed separate journals for each of them. I obsessed with how this one turned out. It's a lot nicer than I was expecting, to be honest. And this is a square size. It's slightly larger than a Nurture and Olive 8x8. So if you, for comparison purposes, yeah, it's a little bit bigger, as you can see, but not by too much. I love it. So yeah, so I figured in this video I will dive in through each of these journals, show you how the inside looks like. And again, if you want to purchase your own, I will have the links down below. Or if you want to create something yourself, then don't forget to watch my other video on this journal. So the first one that I'll walk you through is the Read Around the World challenge. So like I said, this is a square journal. I used to keep a square journal for my reading journal before, but I kind of stopped. So I figured this would be a perfect intro for the Read Around the World, because I have one page for each country, so it gives me enough space to get creative in that. So when you first open it, let's go back. This is where you can write your name if you want. This is the list of the contents. So there's going to be an Africa section, Asia, Europe, North America, Oceania, South America, and lastly there's a TBR as well. If you're new to the challenge, I have this how to use this journal spread. So you first open up into Africa, and then this says, "Welcome to Africa, a continent of breathtaking landscapes, deep-rooted traditions, and powerful stories. From ancient kingdoms to modern movements, each book you read here offers a window into the beauty, resilience, and diversity of over 50 nations. Let the voices of this vast continent guide through tales of hope, heritage, and humanity. Color in the Africa map as you finish a book set in each country, and use the country index to jot down what you read and how you'd rate it. This is your visual progress tracker, perfect for seeing where you've been and where you're headed next." So the first thing that you'll have here is the map of Africa. I'm not the greatest at geography. That's why I needed to have the names of the countries in the map so that I know where they are located. But yeah, as I read a book set in the country, I will just color it in here, and I can see the progress of how it looks. Next up is my index page. So this is where you have in alphabetical order the list of every single country, and you have enough space in here to write down the book that you read for that country, how you rated it. So this is just like a quick glance if you want to see how you are progressing. And there's 3 pages of the country indexes. Next, you go into the review section, and this is where your reading memories live. So use each review page to reflect on the books you've read and how they brought each country to life. Add the book cover, note the author, genre, and your star rating. Record when you started and finished, highlight a favorite quote or scene, and keep track of standout tropes. Then dive into your personal review. Write about what you loved or didn't, how the story captured the setting, or anything else worth remembering. Make it as detailed or as simple as you like. These pages are all about your experience. And so this is when you get into the country pages. So like I mentioned, each country has their own page, and you have the name of the country in here. So you can just design this however you want. So there's a lot. Okay, so that was the Africa section. And then next you go into Asia. So again, there's like a little blurb in here for Asia. Step into the vibrant tapestry of Asia, where ancient wisdom and cutting-edge innovation collide. With stories spanning deserts, mountains, mega cities, and quiet villages, this continent holds multitudes. Let each book you read transport you into rich histories, enduring myths, and contemporary lives shaped by extraordinary cultural depth. Color in the Asia map as you complete books set in different countries. And then you get into the Asia map. So again, as you are reading from each of these countries, just color it in here. And this is probably like the most fun that I have with this challenge, seeing everything filled out. And then you go into the index. Again, you have the country names, and then you can just write down the books that you read and then the star rating. And then you just jump right into the countries. Similarly, each country will just have their own page. And I've left this purposely blank so that you can just be creative with the book that you read. So if you are like me and like to create spreads based on the theme of the book, it gives you that flexibility. Next one is Europe. Europe is a crossroad of history, culture, and storytelling tradition. From Nordic fjords to Mediterranean coast, each country has its own unique literary voice. Whether you're exploring old world classics or modern masterpieces, this section invites you to read across borders and eras, one country at a time. Again, here we have the map for Europe. Then we have the index. And then you jump into the actual countries. Next is North America. From snow-covered peaks to bustling cities and tropical coasts, North America offers a rich variety of voices and settings. Through your reading journeys, you'll discover ingenious stories, immigrant narratives, rural epics, and urban dramas that reveal the diverse heart of this continent. We have the map. I know like the Central America here and the Caribbeans are like so small, and so when I show you the Americas like individual journal, I actually dug deeper into these for that specific journal, just so that you can, if you want to do the territories challenge as well, like you can. Then we have the index with every single country, and then you just jump into the countries. All right. Next we have Oceania. Oceania is a region of big skies, ancient stories, and deep ocean roots. From the red deserts of Australia to the lush green islands of the Pacific, this section celebrates the voices and traditions that rise from land and sea alike. Let your literary journey float across the islands, guided by wisdom and wonder of the region. So this is like hard because a lot of these like islands are so tiny, you know? So when you color it, I don't know how that's gonna look, but it's just literally just dots. Here we have like the index, and then again the pages. Next up, we have South America. South America is a continent of bold beauty and lyrical storytelling. From the Andes to the Amazon, its authors bring you into landscapes of resistance, celebration, and memory. Dive into magical realism, revolutionary stories, and quiet tales of everyday life from across the region. And then again, we have the map, the index, and then the pages. So lastly, you have a TBR section, and you can use this section to map out your literary travels before you hit the road. Jot down the books you'd like to read for each country along with the author. When you finish the book, come back and add your rating. This way you'll have a full picture of your reading adventure from start to finish. And this is how each of the TBR pages will look like. So you can put the country in here, the book and title, and the author. And then if you read it eventually, then you can add a rating here. So this is like easy to like keep track because I hear so many like great suggestions, and I add them on Goodreads, but then I forget what country that book actually belonged to. So this would make it just easier to see. If I need for this country, I can just go back in here and put it, like start reading it when it's time. So there's a few pages of just TBR because I know I'm gonna need a lot. And then lastly, I left a few blank pages in the end for a pen test because this is just like regular printer paper, you know, and I use a lot of fountain pens, markers. So I just wanted to make sure that they would work as expected, you know, and I don't want any surprises. So that's why I left a bunch of blank pages in the end to test out any of the pens that I will be using in this journal. And so I kind of started with whatever I had handy at the time. So I have like the Uniball Zento, some fountain pens. These are Tombos, Posca markers, card markers, and micron pens. And the first thing that I tested was like bleed through or ghosting. So I don't know if you can see it here. There isn't, like, it's not the best paper quality, I'll be honest, but it's not bad either. So like I think if I stick to like my Uniballs and like fine and extra fine pens, I think it should be fine. But this was my TWSBI in bold, and it's kind of like bleeding through a little bit, and the ghosting. The Posca markers are perfectly fine. The Tombos, I'm probably gonna stick to like lighter colors because the darker ones have a tiny bit of ghosting and bleed through. And then card markers, again, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, so this is kind of like how it looked. I just want to be transparent with the paper quality. I had no choice. So this is all that it comes with. So it's just like printer paper if you want to test it out. I'll just use these for later. Whenever I want to use a new pen, I want to make sure like it won't bleed through or anything like that because I don't want to destroy this journal. But this was it. Like, I love how this came out, and I just love the little visual and everything. So I cannot wait to start using it. But yeah, and then the end, like, it's me and some screenshots of the pages that you'll see inside. Like, one thing I don't know what to do is whether I should start the challenge brand new or just transfer some of my previous reads into here, the ones that qualify for both the author side in the country and the book side in the country. Maybe that would just make it a little bit easier because it is a little bit intimidating. There's so many countries. But yeah, I don't know what to do yet. Let me know what you guys think I should do. Okay, so the next one are the individual journals for the continents. So I have one that is just for Asia. This one is the Americas. Then there is Africa, and then Europe. So they are very similar. They come both in hardback and paperback. So yeah, so this is like, this is Asia, very similar. Okay, actually, hold up, let me check the size on this. So this is an A5 Archer Olive, and this is slightly bigger than an A5 for size comparison. All right, so there we go. Okay, so the journal belongs to, how to use the journal, and then Asia. You have the map of Asia. Then you have the index. Oh yeah, this one also has a little shelfie you can color in. Then you go into the actual reviews, and this one is different because you have a double page. So if you want to dig deeper into the reviews for each country, you can, or you can just use it if you want to like use it for multiple years. You can do 1 year here, and then next time you redo the challenge, you can add another book in here. However you want to do it, it's up to you. It's very flexible, and so each country is going to have similar double page stories. And then lastly is a TBR section. So similarly, you'll have the country, book title, and author, and then rating. So yeah, so this was the Asia, and this is the hardback version. Next is the Americas. I have this in paperback. And then very similar, how to use the journal. North America. So in here, like I mentioned, you have like the North America map, but also the Caribbean. It dives deeper into all the territories and then the countries in it. So if you wanted more detail, you can. Then you have the index for all of the countries in North America, and then the territories if you want to do a territory challenge. Then you have a little shelfie, then the reviews, and similarly you have double page for each of the countries. And then the Caribbean territories will have their own section. Next, we dive into South America. Again, the map, the index, the shelfie, the reviews. And then lastly, the TBR section. Next is Africa. And they're all very similar, how you use it. The map, the index, the shelfie, and then the reviews. So yeah, it's pretty blank, just so you can have your own, be creative with each of the book spreads. And the next is the TBR. Next one is Europe. So we have the map, the index, the shelfie, and then the reviews. And then lastly, the TBR. Okay, next we have the Read Around the USA. So this will also come in paperback and then hardback. But this is also going to come either in a blank version or a guided review version. So I just wanted to show both of them to you. The first one, this is the guided version. And again, I started using this already, so you'll see some of my notes already. But yeah, so this belongs to how to use the journal, and then track your journey. What's your literary adventure cut to life? Color in the US map as you finish your book set in each state, and use the state index to jot down what you read and how you'd rate it. This is your visual progress tracker, perfect for seeing where you've been and where you're headed next. And so I already started using, but this is the map. And then you have the index, so you're going to have a list of every single state. You can write down the book that you read for that state and then the rating. And then you have a little shelfie in here, so I just colored it in as I go. Next is the TBR. So I don't know if you can see here, there's a little bit of ghosting on this paper. So I used an Unibold Zento, which, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but yeah, so this is how I would use the TBR. So you can write down the state, the book and author for that state, and then if you read it, you can come in here and read it. There is a few. Okay, the next is the review section. And but yeah, so this is how the guided review pages look. You have a little page in here to stick in your book cover, and it is all going to look the same. So you can put the title, author, genre, started, finished, any favorite quotes, favorite scenes, trope, and then your actual review. I've already used it for some of the states. So the first one is Louisiana, and this is how like mine looks. So like I still wanted to be creative, but also have like a little bit of a guidance, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just want to show like there is a little bit of ghosting on the pages. Next, I did one from Missouri. And like, you know, if you don't like any of these, you can always just cover it. Like tropes, I don't really track tropes. I don't know why I even did it in there, but so yeah, I just like covered it up with stickers and washi tape. But yeah, I love how this actually turned out to look. And then Pennsylvania. This was for Texas. Virginia. And yeah, that's all I've done so far in this one. I've read more states, but I haven't had time to add them in here. So this is the blank version, so just wanted to show you that as well. Very similar. You color in the states, the index, the Shelby, the TBR, and then the actual reviews. So the reviews are going to be blank, so you can be as creative as you want. You can use just one page, both pages, whatever you prefer. You have that option. And so each of the states is just going to be pretty blank like that. So I haven't done anything in this journal yet though, but and then you also have in the end like a blank paper to test out your pens. And then this is just the hardcover version, so if you want paperback or hardcover, it's up to you. So those were all of the journals that I wanted to show. I'm very excited to start using them. I already started using the USA one. Yeah, I don't know if I will use the individual continent journals yet. I want to keep them all into this one journal for now. Also, this one comes in hardcover, and the only way to get the hardcover is via Lulu, whereas if you don't mind paperback, then you can have it through Amazon. But yeah, Amazon didn't do square journals in hardcover, so that's why I needed to use the Lulu services. But yeah, I love how this turned out. So yeah, I'm not sure like if I'll do journaling sessions on YouTube about these. I will probably just focus on my Instagram and TikTok, but I will definitely like show every couple of times like what my progress is with this challenge, especially because I will do the review both in my actual reading journal for the year as well as in here. So I feel like it's a bit duplicative if I show both processes, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you want this on YouTube, that's fine by me. It's just going to be repetitive, so I'm not sure if it makes sense or not. But yeah, like I mentioned, all the links will be in the description below, so if you have any questions or you want more detail on anything, just feel free to message me. Happy to answer any questions you might have. We're also doing this challenge. Please like write down in the comments below some recommendations from cool countries that you've read. I'm always eager to explore more. So thank you for watching. See you on the next video.